Some of you may have seen this photo in the community section of my YouTube channel yesterday. And for those of you who didn't, his name was Simon. Sadly, Simon died of bowel cancer recently. Now, if that wasn't tragic enough, it turns out Simon is a former British Army veteran. This gentleman served Queen and country, and he died homeless and he had nothing. As you can see in this photo, Simon is wearing a t-shirt, and on that t-shirt is the emblem of the regiment he served in, the Rifles, or as they're otherwise known as, the Green Jackets. Now, I have fired off several emails to people who brought this story on Twitter. I've yet to receive a reply, and I've done some research, and sadly, I can't find out anything else about this gentleman, Simon. I don't know if he had any family, etc. I know nothing except for what I've seen on social media. And if this story doesn't get you angry, then it bloody well should. I myself was homeless for a very short period. And despite the fact that I was working in the prison service and a former serving soldier, Basingstoke Council, where I lived at the time, did absolutely nothing to help me out. As far as they were concerned, I was bottom of the list for any social housing, and the top of the list was occupied by young single mothers, refugees, migrants, people with addictions, and the list goes on. Now, this angered me greatly, but mercifully, I had friends, and I still have friends, whom I can rely on and turn to help me out, and they did. That's what friends are for. And sadly, Simon had none of that. But Simon isn't the only one, because I know there are countless of former serving British soldiers living rough on the streets in Britain today, and the authorities, the government, local councils, etc., they've completely turned their backs on them. Now, there are some great veteran charities out there who aren't as well known as the Royal British Legion, but they can only do so much because they're not so well known. But ensuring that veterans, British Army veterans, people who have served their country, gave their lives to an institution, it's not just a job, it's a way of life. It changes your way of thinking, and that lasts forever. And these people, I was one of them, we need to be looked after for the rest of our lives, as far as I'm concerned, by a nation whom we served to protect. But it shouldn't be down to charities to make sure that veterans have a house, have food to eat, and just be treated with dignity. It shouldn't be down to charities. This should be down to the pigs in Parliament who ensure that their own nest eggs are stuffed full for when they retire. They give themselves hefty, embarrassing pay rises every year to the tune of thousands of pounds, because it's them who ultimately send soldiers off to fight for our country, go to war, put their lives on the line. And it should be Parliament that looks after us when we come home. And as for the Royal British Legion, you have to ask yourself, what the hell is the point of Poppy Day, wearing a poppy around November the 11th, and people pay for those poppies, and that money goes to the Royal British Legion. The Royal British Legion should be dishing that money out to the veterans they purport to give a shit about. But they don't, because they're sitting on over, 60, 70, 80 million pounds at the moment in cash. And for them to allow a man like Simon, a gentleman, a soldier, who served his country and left by himself to die, it's absolutely disgusting, and these people have no humanity about them whatsoever. And they should dig out a dictionary and look up what the word charity actually means and the definition of it. Because I remember I walked into the Royal British Legion in Aylesbury High Street years ago when I started my own personal claim for a war pension for my loss of hearing, because my vehicle was blown up in Iraq and I lost a certain percentage of my hearing. And the woman who dealt with me in this particular Royal British Legion Centre in Aylesbury High Street, the way she talked to me and looked at me, you would think I walked in off the street and asked to see her breasts. And you would think that I was actually suing her personally for that money. And I left that Royal British Legion in Aylesbury High Street feeling guilty, like I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have dared do that. Until thankfully I got help elsewhere. I mean, the system is an absolute disgrace. You know, these charities, especially the Royal British Legion and Parliament, local councils, especially Simon's local council, they should all hang their heads in shame. And the only way they're going to fix this, and the only way they can redeem themselves, is to make a fucking effort, go out on the streets, find out who the real veterans were, because believe me or not, there are other homeless people on the streets masquerading as veterans so they can get money to buy drugs. And they fool the public, and it's disgusting. And these authorities, they should spend money, get out on the streets, find these veterans and house them all and help them out. Not just financially, but mentally as well. These people need their mental health to be assessed and treated. So I am really sorry I didn't get to know Simon, and I am sorry that I ever gave money to big veteran charities like the Royal British Legion, because they do fuck all with it. So I won't be giving money again until they reform and they start dishing out this money to help homeless veterans. After all, isn't that what they're there for? And it shouldn't be charities and people digging into their own pockets to help out veterans. Because, you know, working civvies in this country, they've got enough on their plate to pay out for, thanks to the cost of living crisis. You know, not helped by this government once again. It's Parliament's job to do this, no one else. It's Parliament. After all, veterans, every veteran deserves it. They've earned it. So I hope Simon rests in peace. I feel utterly disgusted and ashamed that the guy, the gentleman, the soldier died like this, because he certainly deserved better. And that's what I think. So share my video, please. Just let other people know that this gentleman, Simon, existed. He died, how he died, and that those in authority who could have helped him see it and feel guilty as fuck. Thank you.